the post I put up about how in the hell do you mount the top wings on biplane. I've never done it before. This is my first biplane other than like a Fokker triplane, which just had straight struts up and down, and you just stack the wings on. Now this one has a staggered wing and angled struts, and anyway, you're kind of looking at that picture on my computer screen. There be wings. So what I did, I don't know if I did it the right way, but it worked. I took the upper wing, I'll set it down here so maybe we can see it a little better, and I'll adjust the camera down. Creak, 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 groan, 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 creak, groan. There we go. Probably show. Yeah, let me crank her down a little bit, see if that helps. I know the lights are too dark. I don't have enough light in here, but that's the way it is. What I ended up doing, these outer struts, I glued them to the upper wing only. Set some blocks in to make sure they were straight up and down, and let them pretty much set up. They were still a little bit soft on the glue side. I could move them a little bit, but they were still, I used the tube glue so I had a little more plate time on those, and when they were pretty much set up, then I went and set the plane upside down just like this, and glued the bottom half of the strut to the bottom wing. Then I got everything square as straight as I could, wrapped the blue painter's tape around the wings to hold that in, and then I went in and put these struts in because of the way they're angled and the way the hole is in the fuselage. There's no way to pre-install them before the fact. That was my first thought. I would just glue all the parts to the top strut, let them cure. Let me get the light in here so you can see a little better. There's just no that I could put them all on, let them glue up and set up, and just set it down on the lower wing and on the fuselage, and everything would be lined up and we'd be a happy camper. Well, apparently biplanes don't work that way, or at least as far as I know they don't. So this is the first biplane I've done that had the staggered wings and that such. But a lot of you guys on the community said to use Legos to build a jig to hold everything together. Sounds like a good idea. I don't have any Legos. I know where I can get them, but I don't have any. And so we've muddled through, but anyway, it works. I'll turn it over here. They're not 100% straight front to back, but they're definitely close enough for government work, and after all, the duck was a government plane, so I guess we're alright. If you go to line up the ailerons on it, from looking at the right angles, you can tell that the top wing is cocked just slightly. I mean, ever so much. Not enough to worry about. Definitely not enough to warrant taking it off and putting it on again. But it might show in this angle. It might not. Yeah, a little bit. You can see how you can see a little bit more of the one strut than the other, but that's just off just a hair. I'm going to turn it to one disappears just a fraction before the other. But I'm happy with it as it sits. I'm not going to tear it apart. I'm not going to tear it apart to redo it. That's for sure. So that's where we're at on that. I'm gonna let that set up all day while I was at work. Came home and everything looks all right tonight. But I'm gonna let that set up for at least another day before I start fiddling around with stuff to make sure that glue is nice and cured. So up next we're looking at, we'll hit the whole thing with a coat of Future. The pontoons for the bottom of the wings have been painted. I painted half of them last night and painted the other half this morning, or when I got home from work. So we'll let them dry for a day or so. We have our prop is all ready to go. We won't put it on till we're basically last thing. The struts for the pontoons are all painted. So basically, the gun is painted. So basically, it's down to painting the pilots, which I hate painting figures. I hate painting figures. I hate painting figures. I'm just no good at it. Fortunately, they're underneath the canopy, so I don't have to get too detailed on them. Speaking of which, I reach in here. We got our canopy. It's been painted, and I just put a coat of Future on it to seal it all up. And I masked off and painted the major ribs. With the spray. But then when I was at work today, I picked up a couple of silver Sharpie so that I could go in and do the fine. I know this doesn't show. If I can get it to. There it goes. Like the fine line at the bottom and along the side of the frame. And then I got a bright bob idea. I said, I have a super fine black marker, Sharpie marker as well. So why don't we put gaskets on the window? So I took the super fine. I gotta quit doing these late at night. Went around the edges of the windows and around the frame to make like a gasket. And I think that turned out really cool. So it looks like it's got the black rubber gasket on the window glass for the canopy. And of course it's still got blue painter's tape inside of it. That's why it looks that color. I won't take that out until the Future's dry and I'm ready to put it on the model, which will be next to the last thing that goes on. And probably tomorrow we'll put a coat of Future on the plane. Bring him back into focus. There we go. So that we can start putting on the decals. So that that can start looking more like that. And I hope everybody's enjoying this build. And again, I can't say enough about this Glencoe model kit. If all their kits are as decent as this one appears to be and has been, everybody should go out and buy lots of them. You know, I'm gonna check into getting that McDonnell Douglas helicopter they have, and the TWA Mars Lander kit. So you can look for those in the future as soon as I get a little extra cash and find them and get them in. Because right now I'm kind of burned out on Star Trek models. And I got a P-38 Lightning over there, but I'm not really, my alclad skills aren't up to the task yet because I want that to really shine. I want to practice a little more with the Alclaz to get that high mirror finish before I start on that one. So, I've been rambling long enough. Slide a couple pictures at the end, like always. And we'll see you on the next update, which will be decals, decals. And maybe we'll start working on the diorama base. If I can find one that I like, stand. If not, I'll have to make one. So, till then, we'll see you guys.